Greetings, everybody. Yeah. After delaying, I'm so upset. After delaying my life to come online to just chit chat about what's happening today. I was here watching cricket. I should have known better still. But just watching the was in the Caribbean T20. Boy, the disaster continues. I don't know if you're following the game, but we're just bowled out for 79 runs. I don't know. I think we should have cancelled this year's T20 championship as it relates to the Talawas because our side is no good. Absolutely no good. Anyhow, that's not what I'm here to talk about. Enough of them. But it's about World Championships. Exciting, excitement, thrills, spills, as I said before. It is all that we expect and more. Well, at least what I expect. Not to say there aren't some disappointing moments so far, some disappointing performance, but so far I am pleased with the overall display by the athletes. Not just our local athletes, but all in all, the entire track and field community there. They are performing well, and just to think about the adverse circumstances under which some of the athletes would have to be coping, and it has and is impacting some of the athletes, maybe not all, and you're not hearing all the stories, but it is impacting some because the environmental situation is not conducive to every athlete that's there and to them performing at their best. But so far, Team Jamaica has been able to navigate most of the hurdles. Yes, that's the hurdles. Very interesting word there again. To navigate most of the hurdles and good showing so far. So, if you have not heard, at present, our medal tally stands at 6. Yes, it has improved from 4, which we entered day 7, which was today, at 4. And that was the gold medal won by Shelley and Fraser Price, the gold medal won by Tajay Gale in long jump, the mixed 4x4 relay silver medal, and we also had a silver medal from Frederick Dakers. But today, that tally was moved or increased to 6th. By who? Our shot putter, Daniel Thomas Dodd, did exceptionally well. I was overjoyed. She created history and she secured the silver medal in that event. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And also, Sharika Jackson in the women's 400 meter final was able to capture another bronze medal. This is not her first time, this is another, basically a repeat of what she has done before, but this time it was exceptional. It was a different sort of feeling because of how it happened and in the race that it happened. But overall, we entered day 7, as I said before. A lot of things were on the line in terms of people were disappointed from news that came, not even news that came, but from happening from day 6. And the biggest news that came out in terms of that would have other persons would have dampened their spirit was that of Omar McLeod and his misfortunes in the 110 meter hurdles final. And I'll just share my little bit on that. I think, and other people might disagree, but I think that Omar McLeod, what he said after the race, I believe it. In terms of the hamstring problems that he felt in warming up, and he said that during the start of the race when he left the blocks, he felt the hamstrings. And I believe this story when he was saying that sort of clouded his whole sort of concentration as he went into the event. So he could not concentrate on the execution of the race. It may not be the full explanation as to why he did what he did, because I am of the opinion that if he had slowed down and probably at least try to finish, as he said. He wanted to finish the race, but I think in finishing the race, he should have just allowed himself to run into second place because he was closing. But I think the sort of pressure that was there from the start for him to retain his title and to win another gold medal and to continue the kind of trend that we were looking forward to. I think he was trying to do that in the race and technically got it messed up altogether. He was closing to about the 8 hurdles, and if you watch the race, you'd have seen everything went wrong. He increased his strides, lost the rhythm. He had to jump that hurdle, virtually jump the hurdle, and by jumping the hurdle, he lost balance, and by losing his balance, or was in the process of losing his balance, and he was drifting to the Spain runners lane, that's Orlando Ortega's lane, and in the process, both of them virtually made impact, and I thought he was trying to save his race, sort of nudge Omar, which was already falling, and he sort of finished the process of him falling, and he came to a tumble, and he just couldn't, there was nothing else to be done. The race was over. The winner was the American runner, and he came last. Eventually, he was disqualified. But I was of the opinion from the start, saying that it was gonna be hard for Omar to retain his title. It would have been very hard. Why? That young man that won has been doing well all season. It has been a long season for him, but he has been doing well. Hi Shakara, how are you doing? It has been a long season, but I know Omar had that sort of competitiveness in him and that sort of championship mettle in him that would want for him, or would cause him to go out even when he knew that he wasn't feeling well, because he said it before. He still wanted to go out and perform to the best of his abilities, and not only the best of his abilities, but to meet our expectations, because we were looking forward to getting another gold medal. But that's how the cookie crumbled. It didn't happen for us, and we just have to learn from it. I hope that he can, along with the other athletes that would have suffered not probably similar misfortune, but wouldn't have progressed to the events that they thought they would have progressed to the finals. Some didn't have the best of runs, the best of throws. I hope that they can learn from it. And as I said before, I made it in a post that they don't sacrifice their future and their potentials because they are young in the events of their past. It is behind us. They just need to bounce over and move forward. Overall, that being said, it has been a good championship for us. The athletes are performing to their best. And why I say that? Because we are getting medals in events that people didn't predict us to get medals. Some of us who follow the sport more closely didn't even predict us to get medals, and the athletes have turned up and they have done well. Let's talk about today. So initially, as I said before, we had the women going off in the discus qualifiers. Neither of them progressed, and that's Shade Lawrence and Shanice Love. But two young ladies that I really admire, and two young ladies that I really look up to, and I think they are the future. They are young experiences to teach, and I know they are learning from these sort of situations. It's not easy for them to go out there and to perform well all the time. But yes, these things do happen. I know they are disappointed in winning themselves, but they learn from it. Mr. Odean Richards, and that's our shot putter, who would have been there, done that before. But obviously the season that he has been having is not one that we are used to. And he himself really sort of agreed to that he's not having the best of season. So it didn't happen for him. He did 20.07, that was his best throw, but that wasn't good enough to see him advance to the next round, because that event is one of the most competitive events. The men shot put is one of the most competitive event happening at the championships. We had the women in the triple jump, and both ladies, Shanika Ricketts and Kimberly Williams, both of them made progress. Shanika Ricketts, she did the longest jump. It was 14.42 meters, and 14.210 was what Kimberly Williams did in order to really advance to the finals. So we should have both ladies coming out in the finals to do even better, and I'm expecting a medal there. That's one event I'm expecting a medal from Ricketts, because she has been in super good form this season. She has been in personal best sort of shape, and I expect her to do well. But let's talk about Daniel's historic silver medal in the shot put. In 2017, she was fourth. And if you remember, in 2017, she was in the run for a medal up to the final throw. And that final throw caused, not by her, but the final throw by the Hungarian athlete, that's Anita Martin, caused her to slip from third to fourth. In the qualifiers yesterday, we saw where Danielle came out and she did 19.42 to qualify with the farthest throw. And I just liked what I saw in the last throw that she gave yesterday. She said the first two throws she was unsettled, she was nervous, but the last one she came out and she settled herself. It was the final attempt to really establish the automatic qualification mark, and she did what she could do and resulted in her qualifying as the best throw. She came back today again. The competition started, and I mean the Chinese athletes took the lead from Hurley, but Danielle, despite not getting a far distance on her first throw, all the other throws thereafter, she was confident as ever that she could do it. And you saw where each throw she got better, she got better, she got better. The fifth throw where everybody got on their seats were in the air, and was just hoping, because we saw when the throw was executed, we didn't saw the full follow through of it where it was completed to see if she stayed inside the ring. But we saw the distance, because the camera went immediately at the distance, at where the shot was going. And we saw the shot going over that line, and everybody was like, yes, she did it. No, she has created history. Then the camera flashed back. We saw the official red flag went up. We said, oh my, what happened? It happened so fast. I saw where she went over to the official, but I was wondering, because there's what can be done or what could be done. Mark, we didn't say the thing. So I was saying before she moved, because I think she went to query it, she should have stayed in the ring. In that case, she would not have allowed the leader, which was Lea Gong from China, to enter and to execute the throw, because once she goes in and the throw is done, it therefore means that the situation with Danielle now, the throw is flagged as a foul throw, and they move on. However, it didn't happen. She came back on her last throw, another massive throw. 19 to be true, 19.3, 19.4. Her PB is 19.55. That's the winning throw. So she would have gone, she wouldn't have to have achieved PB today in order to match her personal best. Well, it'd be better because you could have matched to tie with but probably to tie with the Chinese show. But she'd have to surpass that in order to win the gold medal. But let's take nothing away from her. That was fantastic throw. And just like what she has been doing all season, she has been ranked third in the world with the third longest throw. She has lived up to our expectations. Well, our expectations, but I'm saying that some people didn't have her to gain a medal, even with that sort of performance and quality that she has been showing all season. But she got silver. Historic, first for a female, not the first for Jamaica, because O'Dane, which as we spoke about, would have done it before. But Thomas, that did us proud. And that's why I always say to you guys, let's support the athletes, because they go out there. It's not easy, but the sort of fight and the sort of energy, the sort of dedication, the sort of resilience that these athletes put out there, it is very commendable, and I'm really happy for it. It felt like a gold medal to me. I don't know about anybody, but it felt like a gold medal. So Thomas, Dad, got us on a high. Everybody was looking forward to see now, how could we close out the day? We had two athletes in the last individual finals on track to come, and that was the 400 meters for women. I was anxious to see, because of not only us having two finalists, but the field that was assembled or the athletes who qualified, I think it was a lot of quality that was there. A lot of athletes were there that were ready to run fast. A lot of athletes that were there that were ready to do their best. There's a last chance to do their best. We had the defending champion that was there. That's Phyllis Francis from America. We had Shanae Miller-Weber, and that's the Olympic champion, and she's from Bahamas, and she was the overwhelming favorite. We had the 2017 run-up World Championship silver medalist, that was the Bahrain athlete, and that's Salwa Nassau. We had Shericka Jackson, who would have won bronze medal before at the Olympics and at the World Championships. We had the young lady from USA, that's Janatas. She's the NCAA champion. We had her there. We also had two Polish athletes who were two quality athletes. And we had our own Stephanie and McPherson, which have won bronze medal before 2015. So we had a feel of experience and a feel of athletes who were ready to run fast. The race came, it started. And when I saw the race, I was saying to myself, well, it might be a 2 hours field. Shani versus Nassau. Two of them are going to go out hard, take it to the field. Who can catch them? I was hoping to myself that Shericka Jackson would hold on for the bronze medal. But when I saw the athlete from Bahrain went out, I was saying to myself, you know, she's saying to them, catch me if you can. And that's exactly what played out. She went hard from the start. She covered the field and she kept moving. And it was left now for the entire field, including Shanae Miller-Weber, who gave the best chase to catch her. It didn't happen. They did not catch her. And 48.14 is what story that has been written. Third fastest time in the world. Simple, spectacular. The athlete ran a well-calculated race from start to finish. Shanae Miller-Weber, I don't think did anything wrong. People are saying that she made a mistake. I don't think she did anything wrong. This was a race in which she could not catch Nassau. She could not catch Nassau. Well, I'm not saying that she probably would not have gone faster, but I don't see anything wrong because she did a personal best, 48.37. That's not an easy time to run. That's now put her in the top 5 times. Or I think she's 6th now, or 5, thereabout. Fastest runner. It's a personal best. It's an era record. Nobody in this region has ever run that fast. And I said before, to be doing that in such a championship event against an athlete that was running like a runaway train. Marky, I was worried about Nassau because I was saying to myself, she ran in them 4x4 mixed relay. And I was wondering, why did she come to run 2 hard legs in those relays? She was in the heat, she was in the finals. Knowing that she has 3 rounds of the 400 meter against some quality females, would she be able to last? She answered that question without any doubt. She answered that question. She is prepared for this. And to be running 5 hard races over 7 days, it's just simply amazing. I didn't see the 2 previous records. I think it was 1983, Marita Cox and Jamil. I think it's Jamil. The Krichatchalova, something like that. I can't even pronounce her name. That strange name. But I didn't see those races. I watched them on YouTube from time to time. But I didn't see them how it was executed live. And I think that just watching NASA, I watched the race about 10 times already, guys, believe me. I watched it about 10 times. I was just wondering, I was trying to assess the race to see what could Shanae do. Because I was trying to say, what if I'm not seeing what they're saying? But looking at the race over and over, it was simple spectacular. Simple spectacular. Yes, Mr. Grant, I see you saying 6. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Does the medal count? Alright, I think that's the medal count he's referring to. Yes, you're at 6. But if not, you can clarify what you're saying. But it was a wonderful race. And that race to me is the race of the championship. The race of the championship. Sherika Jackson, 49.37. Everybody was saying to themselves, Sherika probably, Sherika might. I was saying to myself, once I saw the lane drawn and she was behind the field, I was saying that Sherika will. And she did just what I expected. She herself said thereafter, which I was saying to myself, and probably wonder if she could have gone faster. But she said her coach that she didn't execute the race properly. And she didn't run according to his instructions. But she ran a personal best, and I think she ran a race that was well judged. She ran her own, so just Jamila race. Jamila, yes, and Marita. So that's 49, 77, 47, 99, sorry, and 49, 47, 60 are the two faster times than what Nassar would have run. Miller Weebu now is 6. So that's what Odian is telling me. Thanks. Yeah. So it's 6. I was saying 5 or 6, but it's actually 6. So you can't ask much from the athletes when they go out there and do their best, especially in that final, because nerves are there, the tension, all of those things are there, and sometimes you're not relaxed enough to do your best, and sometimes some athletes don't perform under that sort of pressure. But the athletes ran well. 5 athletes, guys. 5 athletes running below 50 seconds. The defending champion got a PB. The other young lady from US got a PB. What more could you ask of the athletes? They did their best. They have never run faster than they run now. So when people are saying that some could do better, I am saying to you, they did their best, and that's why it's called a personal best. Alright? So audience saying Shawnee, if she had won, wouldn't say she should have gone out faster because NASA one was saying that. I think Shawnee was running her own race, and I was saying to people that you're trained and you're instructed by your coach to run your own race. So you cannot allow somebody's race tactics or plans or race strategies to become yours during the race. You have to run your race. BJ saying that not taking anything away from NASA, but Shani gave it away. I disagree with you, sir. I disagree. Why? Because it wasn't a case where Shani was leading the race and she slowed down or she faltered like we saw in 2017 or something happened and NASA came and took the race from her. The young lady led from gun to tape. Didn't flinch, didn't look like she was tying up, it didn't look like she was panicking. She just run to the line. She wasn't concerned about anything else, and all she knew that she wanted to get to the line first, and she got to the line first. Shawnee Miller saw her going, and probably I thought to myself that Shawnee Miller thought she was gonna die in the home stretch. Or when by die we mean she would have lost momentum, lost energy in the home stretch, but she did not. I agree with you, Walter. NASA is a real champion. And I think going forward, we're going to have to be looking out for her more. Because I'm saying to you, look at the circumstances. She has run more races than all the athletes in the field, except for the Poland youngness. And that Sweetie Ertich that was out there in the lane 9. She would have run on the 4x4 for the Polish team as well. But nobody else would have run that amount of race. And I mean back to back. And to come out here and run the 3rd fastest time. I know those 2 young ladies, Marita and Jamila, anywhere they are in the world now, they're probably looking on and saying, wow. I just said before, there's a lot of question marks about their runs when it was done in their time in the 1980s. But I know they might be watching today or watched, and to see this young lady who is not a new time comer. So some people are asking me, who is this girl? No, she has been here before. She has performed at the World Championship level. As I said before, she came second the last time. She has performed at the Youth Olympics, the World Juniors, all those games she has performed. So she didn't really jump on the scene. But she has waited her turn, and this time around it was her turn, and in absolute brilliant fashion, that's how she ran today. I am happy for her. I was there jumping on out of my seat, and she's not from Jamaica. Just to show you how I was happy for her. Marky and I would have wanted Mila we be one of the Caribbean athletes to win because they are closer to us, and I really like Mila Wee because she's a very nice person if you get to know her. But I think the young lady just ran brilliant, hands down, brilliant. We cannot take anything away. So I agree, like with the other persons are saying, Mila Weebo did her very best at running her own race, but it was just not good enough. Just not good enough. Just not good enough. Alright, Mr. Grant, I see your request. Hold on. Good enough. So let's take nothing away from the athletes. They did well. Congratulations to Sharika Jackson. Congratulations to Stephanie and McPherson. You have been there, young miss, and you have done that. And once again, you have proven to us that you are a championship performer as well. Credits to Mr. Stephen Francis. Say anything you want to say about him. Get it right for the athletes, and when time matters. Kudos to him. To the other athletes, you did your best. That's for 5 athletes running so fast. The other 3 athletes, they did well. Because 50 points would be good for a final. Because usually don't have all top 5 runners running that fast. So it's really an outstanding championship. Mr. Grant,
Yes,
I
O'Shea,
know
what's up?
you're itching in your
What?
seats to get really have
A
your
little bit
say
tired, but
because the
it,
discussions and the debates have been going on all day. So I'm not gonna even wait a bit. I'm gonna ask you to tell us what you thought of that 400-meter race.
I mean, epic, fantastic. It was a cracker of a race. I mean, when I saw the athletes, I was thinking that, well, it's going to be 2 separate races. At the top, between Shawnee Miller-Weibo and Salwa Idin Hassa. But Sherika Jackson as well, I was expecting to be a factor. I had her down after watching the heats and the semifinals, thinking that she could have gotten a medal thereafter. However, I think what the athlete did today was to go very hard, extremely hard, and ensure that she maintained because she has a lot of speed endurance. Not just that she's strong, but she has a lot of speed endurance, and she maintained that to the line. When you run 48.14, the third fastest time of all time, no one can say it's because Shawnee Miller Weebo went out too slow or whatever it is, because she herself would have run the fastest time ever in her lifetime. So not to take anything away from the athlete, Shawnee Miller had literally no answer for the athlete today. And it reminds me, take me back to 2015. If you're going to beat Shawnee Miller Weebo, as Alice Felix did, you have to discourage her from the gun to the tape. If it was the other way around, I think there was no catching Shawnee Miller Weebo. To beat her, you must set the pace and ask her to chase in the 400 meters. And
Um,
that's what.
I'm not sure if you saw the post that I made. It was a direct quote from NASA, and it says normally she likes to chase, but this time around she said that she wanted to be chased. I think that an
Right.
athlete with that sort of mentality and that sort of thought process, she knew what
Mm-hmm.
shape she was in. I
Mm-hmm.
even thought that if it was even close, I think she would probably pull away from Shawnee Miller. Just on the sheer fact that she ran that far. I didn't see anywhere in the race that she was tiring or faltering or missing her step. She held her form and she kept going smooth, going until she got to the line. And I'm saying this is on the background of running 5 races. And if you saw her in the
That's
first
correct.
round of the 4x4 mix, when she closed down on Jamaica, she was running like a runaway. And I'm like, why this girl going so fast? And then she got run at the flat 4. And she came back out for the final. Bahrain was out of it. And she took the button again and she went good up again and closed the gap. And in the first
Right.
round, she ran well. And everybody was saying, why is she going so fast? Second round, she came out, whops, and she blew away the field. In the final, I just heard the gun going out audience, and I was looking at Sharika Jackson and Stephanie, of course, because I wanted to see where they were. Then I looked up to say, where is Miller now? Because everybody don't want to know where Weibo is, because she's the one to catch everybody saying that boy Miller Weibo I tried and I killed the field. But when I saw the little red shadow going, and I saw them coming in the home sheet and saying that it finished now, I didn't expect Miller Weibo to catch her, but I expected Miller Weibo to close on her. And that's what she did, but it was just not enough. Just not enough.
Not to be fabulous race. I mean,
yeah, man, it is a race.
Other than even if she was on the outside, I think she would still would have blast.
I don't
think it was a mere fact that she.
I think she's in the championship, well oiled, well prepared, and I say oil here because she's on Bahrain. Well oiled, well ready to run. I think that's one thing. And you can't be underprepared and run this fast. You cannot be chosen. This is, I said before, I don't know if you probably watch the races from Marita and from Jarmila. I watch them on tapes and on other sites you can do the race. I didn't see those races back then, so I didn't get this sort of excitement to match the feel against what was and what was happening. And we know the whole of a story and the speculation that surround those runs. A lot of people are saying that the record needs to go because it was stinted and etc. etc. But just to see in 2019, and what was so exciting for me, Odian, is to see that first place, second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place, all of them running times that could have won the medal easy. So really and truly, we cannot take anything away from the ladies. They were absolutely brilliant.
And might we add, the defending champion finished fifth with a personal best.
Exactly. And she didn't run like she competed. She was there. She ran like she wanted to be in them, but it was just too much for her. And I can't say too much for her because I think that too much in a sense where the field was just good. Because she did herself.
But
justly.
Take you back to 2016. The 49.47 by Sharika Jackson would have been where Shawnee Miller was in 2016 for that Olympic title. So it goes to show how super fast that race was. Even if Sharika Jackson had run a full second faster than the time today, the color of the medal wouldn't change.
It would not change.
48.4.
Don't blame the athlete because they're saying that Sharika has a lot of sprint speed. She should have used the sprint speed to close on Miller Weibo. But Miller Weibo is fast as well, and Nasa is no chicken at sprinting. That's what I don't know. She can run a good 200 meters, and I am guessing now that she might step down to the 200 meter. I'm looking forward to see her in the future stepping down because she has a lot to prove. And already, I know when it comes, if she takes that Olympic title at Tokyo, I know she might experiment with the shorter distance and prove to us that she's no chicken. And that's what I think I'm excited about. But it's your hand.
I don't disbelieve though that she could be a factor at 200 meters. I don't disbelieve that. However, I am not going to naturally just say though that she will be super at the 200 meters because it doesn't automatically mean that running great 400 meters means, because if you look at even the second fastest 400 all time, Jamila Kratachevilova, her PB of 47.99, but her 200 PB was quite good, but it wasn't as good as we think a 47 athlete at 200 at 21.97. So
one thing that is about good race distribution, and when you hear the athletes with the word executing, they're talking about how do you distribute your speed over 400 meters in this case, and to add to that, you might have a lot of speed, but you might use it wrong. And it might be that you're good in the sprint, short sprint, but at 400 meters, you're running a very pedestrian time. As well as you might be average in the sprint, where you can still cover 400 meters in a decent time. And I think that's one of the things we are seeing from Miller we go over the years, and today that young lady from Bahrain shows that, yeah, this is how you run a 400 meter if you want to execute from gun to tape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just you're on. Let me ask you this question.
Definitely.
What going, Ricardo? Senior Bridget. What going, brother? Um, let me ask you this question since you're on.
Huh?
And when I ask you this one, since you came and you joined me a little bit later, and I already spoke to it. What are your thoughts about what we see saw today? We know it was we heard about the complaint or the appeal that the French team put in, the Spanish team, sorry, put in for Orlando Artiga. And as a young man that was affected by Omar McLeod. Today we saw where they ruled yesterday that hello, it's a race, it happens, there was no case. But today now they revisited that rule and they allowed him back and he was given a joint bronze medal. What's your thought on that? Deserving, yes, right decision, no?
To be honest with you, I'm not going to say whether or not the decision was correct or not correct. All I want for the IAAF to do is to practice in a consistent manner.
Yeah.
So if it is that you're going to give the athlete a joint bronze medal, you have to now be consistent in the future so that if an event of a similar nature occurs, then an athlete will make an appeal, should also be granted the same discretion. Understand? That's what I'm saying. Because I believe that we would have seen. Huh?
I think I was not too surprised that they reversed their initial decision, because if you realize the men's amateur, there's a Polish guy that apparently came fourth. That's one of two, because a Polish one, that's Fedek one, and now which was the other Polish guy fourth. The, made an appeal. After they I think it was an Hungry guy that came third, and the throw, apparently the final throw that he surpassed them with, or moving the third with, was adjudged to be a foul throw because his foot got the edge of the circle. And what the IAAF did was to look back at the tape and said, yes, the guy had erred, but they didn't disqualify him. What they did was to give the Polish guy also a bronze medal. So they did give, he wasn't the first in the championship that they did that. In the amateur, two guys got bronze medal, and one of them apparently was adjudged to have done a fault. Now I'm saying to myself, the Spain team would have had a good grounds on that, because now we know for sure you disqualified Omar McLeod. So you're saying to him that you actually did obstruct the gentleman. He could have medal, and he was on his way to a medal if you look at the race. And therefore, did you really restrict his chances? But since you are guilty of being an obstruction, then therefore you need to then allow the person that was a victim to get some due reward. And the best thing was to get a medal, because the race could not be rerun. That would not be a case. The race would not be rerun. And somebody was saying to allow him alone. I think somewhere in the rule says allow him alone to run. That would be a different case, because I'm not sure. What if he ran faster than the winner? Where would you put him? Put him at a bronze medal to run for a bronze medal when you could just simply give him a bronze medal. So I was really satisfied that
still wouldn't make
everything ended, even though there was a lot to say about the 110-meter hurdles from the East, because up to from the semifinals, sorry, I'm still a little bit taken aback as to what transpired between Shane Brathwaite and Ronald Levy, and how is it that they came to that decision where Shane Brathwaite was in the race and Ronald Levy was disqualified. Where from the race I saw, I was almost certain that Shane Brathwaite was the one that, with his hurdle got it, he lost his balance and hit Ronald Levy. But it happened that it has now got behind us. What about Daniel Thomas Odian? I don't know if I'm yet stop celebrating, because I was saying to myself, I've never felt that sort of energy. I felt like I was in the ring throwing. And why? Because I saw that every time she stepped in the ring, something was saying to me, boy, I am ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. And when I saw the second, the third, when she came for the fourth one, I'm saying, yes, this is it. We're gonna get it. The fifth one, I mean, I sprung out of my seat and run outside because I'm saying, because we didn't see where she landed, you know. All we saw was the shot put going.
And I found, the superimposed mark, and I saw them, what? Yeah, me not, yeah, forget it. It didn't happen. But what do you think about
I
her
was super
performance?
excited. Trust me, it probably at that point of the day would have been a very unproductive time of the day for me today. Trust me, when I saw the shot put, I was so
Yeah,
excited.
yeah.
And she was just building the momentum and just getting her groove, and everything was just on point except for that foul throw, because trust me, that was a legal throw, O'Shea. It would have been massive. I mean,
And
she
I'm still,
was
and I'm still waiting to see
out
where
there to
what was the
compete
what was
today.
the cause. I'm still waiting to see what was the cause that gave her the foul, because I realized there was no video replay for that to show where she fouled. So I'm really
Yeah,
wanting to see what really
right.
transpired. But there's nothing to blame. I mean, the silver medal feels like a gold medal. Because, I mean, in 2017, I literally
Definitely.
almost cried. Because I'm saying to you, she remember that she was in third going into the last round, And the hungry athletes as Anita Martin came with one last show and just took her out. And I got so nervous today when the final shows were going on. But the only reason I was saving me, I was saying to myself, even if they do respond to her, and I don't foresee them going 19-3 on their last, that's Chase Ely, Martin, and those girls that were behind her. I'm saying to you, I think Daniel could respond even if they got close to her. And I was saying to myself, the
Mm-hmm.
only person probably, based on the form, that probably if they were behind her, could overtake her was Ghana. And really and truly, I just thought, even that last show, I really closed my eyes because when it released and I heard her shout, I'm like, yes, another good one. And I was waiting for the measurement. It didn't happen, but it was as if you look at the series, this is what now tells me that this young lady is here to stay. She waited her turn, she came to the rank, she won at the Commonwealth Games, she won at the Pan Am Games. And I remember she made some post before showing her she worked fifth at the Commonwealth, the Pan Am game, the CAC game, those games that you were expecting her to win over the years. She was there learning, settling for minor places, and now she has proven to us that she is one for the future. Next
Definitely,
I want
O'Shea.
to
But
talk
I
to you
think
about.
overall, though,
Yeah, man. You can finish what you're saying. Finish what you're saying.
no, I'm saying overall, though, it is a championship that we should all be very proud of.
Yeah,
Because the number of medals that we have now, it probably the first in history that we have so many non-traditional events delivering for Jamaica as opposed to the
Jamaican.
sprints, the
Yeah.
long
See,
jump, the shot, the discus, trust me, fabulous
so
performances.
50% of the medal is from the field events. That's
Yes,
unprecedented. Day 8 though,
that's
Odian.
correct.
That's the day I'm looking forward to. Why? Because I think that day, which is tomorrow, guys, is gonna be the day that I will have a new favorite athlete. I've already started to develop this love for one Rochelle Clayton. And if she medals tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it public because I've said it before. She has become one of my favorites to watch. She'll become in the top three of my favorite female athletes, hands down.
Right.
I'm not looking at what she don't do yet. I'm just for the sheer championship she has done, she'll become one of my athletes. But
Three.
before we get
Yes.
to that though, Sharika Jackson, after her 400 meter, in her interview, she disclosed to the world and to those who are watching that she'll be running the sprint relay. The heats for the sprint relays are on tomorrow. We saw earlier, if I know if you saw the tweet that TVJ made from courtesy of the J3 Donald Curry speaking about the guys for the that were available for the 4x4
Yes.
relays,
For the
which was
sprint relay.
only you were saying only 4 fit sprinters remain. And those were Johan Blake,
Mm-hmm.
Rashid Dwyer, O'Shane Bailey, Taekwondo Tracy. So I think if it's only 4 remain, it's the same 4 we're going to see come for the heats and the same 4 that's going to come for the finals. And I made a post today. That's after Sharita said that she has 4x1 duties. That by one day if we need to draw on Akeem Bloomfield to give us a help in the 4x1 because I don't see him doing any worse than who is there. But do you think he's fit enough? Do you think it's a good idea for him to do 4x4 and 4x1 duties? Well, I'm not saying the heats because he has the 400-meter finals to run tomorrow. But at least the 4x1 finals if we make it.
Yes, I agree with you. I was actually thinking that even before they head off to the World Championships in Doha, to be honest with you. I've been calling for some little changes in regards to some of our athletes and the decision that needs to be taken. So I don't know if you ever see me on Facebook making some posts, read some weird things about a Chris Taylor or a Bloomfield, possibly making some adjustments. And Bloomfield was one of them in the 4x1 for sure. And for Shericka Jackson as well, this is the moment. This is the moment for her to come out and prove to the world that Jamaica also have an athlete where they can run the 400, the 4x1, the 4x4, just like Alison Felix. And we need to use her on the 4x1 because she has good foot speed. I cannot forget that very technical Gibson relay where she anchored us, anchored very technical rather, to a fabulous victory after they were about in fourth or fifth spot on the anchor leg. So Shericka has good foot speed.
And that's what a lot of persons don't realize, that she has been doing a lot of sprinting this season, and so too has been Akeem Bloomfield. If you remember clearly, he came to the national trials in the 200 meters, and he didn't make the team. People are saying that he got injured. I don't think he got injured at the trials. He just didn't. He wasn't fully prepared, and he is in the team as the 200-meter reserve. So I'm saying to myself, I don't think he can do any less than the guys who are there to run one leg of the 4x1. And also to come back and run the 4x4 finals. Because, yes, tomorrow might be a hard race, which we'll take a look at that race in a little bit, a while. But I am saying to myself, it's desperate times now for us in terms of who we have. And I think we're going to need everything.
O'Shea.
Uh-huh.
Just to tell you how sticky the situation is, desperate as you said, it's the first time I remember in so many years that in a sprint relay, Jamaica is in the same heat, not the final, as the United States.
As the United States.
That alone says a lot.
And the chances are with 3 teams that should make it, we may find it hard to make it. We might even qualify as the fastest, the slowest qualifier if we make the finals. So I'm saying to myself, the 4 fit guys that are there, yeah, according to Mr. Quarry, the 4 fit guys, let them run tomorrow. And let's see, hopefully they can qualify us. And then I let inject Akeem Bloomfield on the back stretch, because I think it fit good on the back stretch for us and help us in the 4x1
definitely
to compete for a bronze medal.
Yeah,
I just think that way. Yeah.
Well said.
But all right, to the other events though, we talk about the 400-meter hurdles, and then if you saw the lineup, so 1:30 is gonna be happening 1:30 tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow starts a little bit later. The action starts at 12:05 p.m. So you can sleep a little bit later in your bed. I know you'll be at work, sir, but the others can sleep a little bit later in their beds. So at 12:05 that's when we start. The 4x1 relays at 12:49. That's the women. The men come up at 1:05 p.m. But at 1:30 now, that's where Rochelle Clayton runs off in the 400-meter hurdle. And if you saw the lane draw, she's in lane 5, Odian. Lane 4 as Sydney McLaughlin.
Which is in the good time.
And lane 6 as the world record holder. And lane 7 as the Pan Am
and the Olympic champion.
And lane 8 as the former champion. Do you think that's a good lane draw for Rochelle?
I think yes. I think she's drawn perfectly in a middle lane between Sydney McLaughlin and the Olympic champion Dalila Mohammed. And I think she will now feed off the energy. She has one of them on her outside, so she will be able to pace herself along with that athlete. And then also the other one on her inside, so she will be feeling the pressure and will also decide how to make the adjustments. She will have to go out though and run her own race, but I think join alongside with those athletes right there in the middle, she will actually get to feed off the energy, and the momentum will come for her and propel her to a bronze medal. I now feel confident that she will deliver a medal for Jamaica.
Yeah, and I'm saying to you because she looks so much different from what I saw in the Pan Am Games. And at the Pan Am Games, I think she just ran
Mhm.
on sheer heart and courage. She didn't trust herself to be on the big field to be able to compete. But I'm thinking this time she's at the right place at the right time and coming to the
Mhm.
party. I'm happy that Sydney McLaughlin is the one that's behind her because I think Sydney's gonna go out very hard. So it's gonna be a case like Sydney's actually before her. So Sydney's gonna go out hard and she's gonna have them
Mhm.
before her, and she can see what she needs to do and to plan. And she usually finishes so good. And that's one thing I love about her. She finishes so strong. When I see she take the last two hurdles, I'm like, this girl is not tiring. So I'm really happy for her. I just want her to put
Mhm.
together the pieces well, stay in the lane a little bit more. And I think once she remains and stick to her coach's instruction, I think she can compete for the bronze medal. I think it's an open space for the bronze medal. And if any one of the big two makes a mistake, I'm thinking she's gonna be there to snatch
I
even the
was
gold medal. Once they make a mistake, anything can happen. If they ever hit a hurdle, them overstride her, she's gonna take them.
yeah,
So that's that. 220
right
is where we're
there.
gonna have the 400-meter finals. And for everybody that don't hear yet,
Right.
the final was pretty to be a clash between Michael Norman and Fred Curley versus
And Fred
Stephen
Curtis.
Gardner. There's no Michael Norman, so it's now a clash between Fred Curley, Stephen Gardner, and
James.
Kirani James.
James.
James is from Grenada, been there, done that. Stephen Gardner, been knocking on the door, I think he's ready. Fred Curley looks to be as a chance. I probably thinks in his mind now he has a good chance of securing because his nemesis and probably his biggest rival didn't make it through to the final. What do you think of that 400-meter final, which is really the Caribbean against the world?
Well, it's going to be an interesting race to watch. So many of these guys running in terms of personal best under 44 seconds, even our very own Akeem Bloomfield at 43.94. This race is going to be very fast. Interesting. In fact, Fred Curley is the fastest in the field on personal best.
Yeah.
As great as Kirani James is, Fred Curley passed a personal best. However, we know that Kirani James is a big occasion performer, and when he gets into a championship, he always knows how to run, and he always runs his best race. Notwithstanding the fact that the world record holder Wade Van Niekerk ran that blistering world record out of lane 8 in 2016, but James would have run one of the fastest time ever for the silver medal. He's going to turn up and he's going to be putting on a lot of pressure on the rest. Stephen Gardner as well, the silver medalist from the last World Championship, should be in the mix. So not to count him out, I believe it's going to be an epic battle. But with the Akeem Bloomfield, it's very tall though. O'Shea is stuck in the very tight lane too.
And as I
For
was
his
gonna say
height
that
and
to
that
you.
lane, we just have to watch and
I
hope
was
for the
gonna say that
best.
to you.
But it's gonna be interesting. I think, huh?
I was gonna say that to you in terms of I am not liking the lane draws for Akeem nor Demish. Both of them are very tall, and one is in lane 2, one is in lane 3. I think those two tight lanes are not gonna help them unless they can
Right.
run a race, a perfectly executed race tomorrow. In
And
order,
for Akeem in fact, I would have hoped though, as much as persons think lane 8 is difficult or lane 9, for his height, I'd
yeah,
prefer to see him on the very outside.
okay, yeah,
But
that
for
would have
here,
been,
is not too bad for damage though.
yeah. Well, again, I think he has the ability. So if the guy is out front are running and not being mindful of him, he can sneak just in time to win a medal. But I think the race is Mr. Gardner's race. Steve Gardner, I think the race is his race to lose. I am looking forward to see Kirani
Yeah.
James run. I know, but I said before, I don't think Fred Curley is at that sort of championship mettle. He probably cracks the best under pressure. I think Kirani James might not be fully there as to where we want him to be, seeing that he's just coming back. But I think Steve Gardner, I just looking at the two ways I see him run, he just looks effortless, he just looks smooth, he looks very controlled. I think it's gonna be his race to lose. And I think seeing
Yeah.
that Shanae Miller-Weebu was a favorite and lost the 400-meter for women, I think he's gonna want to step up now. It's a last chance for Bahamas to win a gold medal. It's a last chance to just to sort of bring the nation up and encourage them after the disaster they have been through. I think he's gonna go out there and he's gonna lay it on the track for them.
Well, definitely. As what you just mentioned, the last chance. So he will definitely has that as a motivation going in. And I expect, as what you said, him to challenge and really prove strong because I am expecting the 1-2 to be between him and Curly. In fact, James bronze, but they're about because Bloomfield will be closing fast and Gay as well. In fact, I've been saying to myself though, yes, we have ticked Bloomfield to be the person if we're to medal, but with Demish Gay going into the finals with almost what 11/100ths of a second ahead in terms of time qualifying, we cannot put that time as if it is not relevant. So both of them stand equal chance of getting a medal should anybody crumble under the pressure. But my three though, Gardner, Curly, James.
James. All right. And I can't disagree with you. I have the same sort of order. I'm hoping that it becomes a Caribbean clean sweep, but I can't disagree with you. One last question before you go. All right. As I said before, the 4x1 teams that are there. I'm going to ask you to just give me your running order based on the team that, for the male which has been revealed in terms of the 4 competitors we expect to see, since they're the only 4 there. For the male, what running order would you put the 4 guys in? Yohan, Rashid, Taekwondo, and O'Shane Bailey. What running order would you put that team in? And also for the female, which 4 would you use and what running order?
All right, for the prelims for the men, based on what we have though, O'Shane, so it's what we have. So go with O'Shane Bailey on lead off and Rashid Dwyer on the back straight away, Taekwondo Tracy, Yohan Blake on the anchor leg.
And for the females?
Well, what we have. Tell me what we have, O'Shane.
Well, the team has not been revealed, but I'm wanting to believe that we will not see Shericka Jackson in the heat. So I'm thinking probably Shelly and Fraser Price, Natasha Morrison, Jonelle Smith, and Natalia White. That's a team I'm expecting to see out there tomorrow.
So okay, so if we have those 4, then in my head, 2 of those 4 persons would have experience on 2 of those legs. So I'll go and add Natalia White lead off, Natasha Morrison on the back stretch, Janelle Smith to Shelly and Fraser Price.
All right, and that's the thing. I can't disagree. I have the same exact team in my pecking order. If those are the persons they're using, so I said the very same things. Well, we just cannot leave it up to. Let's see if they are able to execute.
But
the ladies are in late 8. Huh? The ladies are
just
in
a quick
8.
question though. If it is that those are the 4 for the heat, and we're to run Shericka Jackson for the finals, who do we now replace?
I don't think that's no-brainer. I think now what we'd have to do is move Natasha to the start and put Shericka on the back stretch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying that we'll have to replace Natalia White?
Yeah. I think Shericka can do a better job on the back stretch. And I'm not saying Natasha can do just as good as a job, but I'd have her on the start if we should replace one. Well, let's see. They're in lane 8, which I found very strange still though. Lane 8. But the heat that they're in, I think they can qualify from that heat. The gentlemen are running in lane 4. In heat 4. So I'm not expecting them to really have much problems. And that's problem in terms of negotiating the button changes, because I'm saying the problems might be that they are not fast enough to qualify. But I'm hoping that they do qualify, because we don't want to end the championships or end the hopes of us even competing for a medal. There's money to gain from making the finals. So I want them to be there to cash in on that experience being in the finals and also getting some money in their pockets, and also a shot at winning a medal for us.
Agree, O'Shea. But the only thing though is that at a championships, you always notice that a lot of these countries who have difficulties having a finalist from the 100 meters always find a way to have 4 guys or 4 females who can make a good 4x1 team, regardless of not having a single finalist. So those teams are going to be very, very strong tomorrow in the prelims as well.
And that's absolutely
Japan
true.
and all these countries.
My 2 teams that I'm afraid of, and I can say it here tonight, for the females, I'm worried for the I'm afraid of the German team, and for the males, I'm afraid of the Chinese team. So the Germans in the females, and the Chinese and the Brazilians in the male. I am worried about those 2 teams because, as I said before, countries like France, countries like Great Britain, countries like Japan, Netherlands, those countries, they can put together 4 athletes who can execute a good relay and win medal, beat us, while we have faster individual athletes.
For years, the French team had the world record by once, and even a single one of them had a time under 10 seconds. So
in the final,
know what the 4x1 can be. So we have to.
That's true.
But
That's
should be a good day though.
Should be a good day. All right, so as I said before to the guys, just tune in. It's 12, as I said before, it's later on the day, so you can rest up, tune in from 12 o'clock. We go to about 3 o'clock. Thereabout. Where we have the 20K walk, which takes a little bit longer to finish. But thanks, Odian, for coming on. Thanks for your views again. I mean, as I said before, I tell somebody, all views can content. Some people came for your head the other day because of your likes for Elaine Thompson. What I'm saying to them, not all of us have our favorites, but when we speak from a place of being unbiased and being objective. So we can't say what will happen. We only can make predictions because the races will have to run and the athletes will have to go to perform. So you can't beat up each other for just making a prediction. It's called a prediction for one and not the actual facts. All right, so respect again, brethren. Thanks for your time.
All right, no problem. All the best.
All right, cool. All right, guys, so tune in tomorrow. I'll try to go live again tomorrow just to sort of share a recap of tomorrow's action. Again, we have finalists to look forward to tomorrow. Rochelle Clayton, as I said before. Akim Bloomfield. And those are the 3 finalists that we'll be having out there tomorrow.
Sprint relays. So you need to also tune in for that. Alright, let me hear what you think. For the video, like it, share it. You're free to like and to share. Free to offer your comment, your take. As I said before, I'm willing to hear everybody's take because nobody's always right. Nobody always sees it as it is, but everybody, once it is not far-fetched and rude and disrespectful, everybody has a say. Alright? So thanks again for tuning, guys. Have a good night.